Hey guys, welcome. Um, it's a beautiful day today here in Michigan. I think we're at like 55, 60 degrees, which isn't super common for February. It's almost March, but I just wanted to make another video. It's been a long time. I feel like since I made one, and I need to be a little bit more consistent. So I'm just trying to put some stuff out there and engage. Hopefully some people get some things turning in their brain with this stuff, and maybe they'll just ask some questions, or hopefully it's they get some use out of some of the conversations that we have. But yeah, so still doing real estate consistently. I started contracting for a company that was doing wholesale stuff. If you're not familiar with wholesaling, I mean, you could look that up. There's tons of content on that, which I've done in the past. I used to do wholesaling. Now I don't do it as much. As a contractor, for me, that looks like going out, running appointments, locking up contracts for the company. I don't have to pay for the advertising that they pay for and all that stuff. So like that's really nice. That kind of lowers the cost for that, and it's pretty straightforward. They got some employees. I don't have to do everything. Like whereas before, when I did wholesaling, I was doing every step. So I was like setting up my own marketing, paying for a CRM, following up with leads. Sorry, there's a contractor across the street. They just bought this house across the street from me. They're doing some work. I think they're gonna turn it into an Airbnb or something like that. But anyways, wholesaling when you're doing it on your own is difficult. I mean, you can obviously people make good money doing it, but there's a lot of things in that process that I just didn't enjoy. Like mostly dealing with prospects, leads that come into the system. I did a lot of SMS blasting, so like text message campaigns, which don't tell anybody because you're not supposed to do that technically. But got away with it, which I was kind of afraid a lot of the times when I was doing it myself, knowing that you're not supposed to like text blast people, that I would get in trouble. Like you can get sued, you can get pursued legally, like if somebody feels like you're harassing them and stuff like that. So you really have to be careful with text blasting. One thing I hadn't done in a long time was mailers. I prefer mailers. A lot of people that I know prefer mailers, and that's probably what you should do if you're gonna do marketing for wholesale deals. Also, I use REI Reply as my CRM. Another great one is Call Porter. Call Porter is created by Ryan Dossi, and then in conjunction with Call Porter, there's Ballpoint Marketing. So you can kind of that's like a one-stop shop. And the nice thing about Call Porter is they have a call center. So basically they create phone numbers for each like mailer direct, like, and when I say mailer, I'm talking about like physical mail that is sent to your house, like a postcard or a flyer saying like, hey, we buy houses for cash. They give you a phone number for each campaign, and then that goes into Call Porter, so you know where the calls are coming from. But Call Porter has their own call center, so when they call in, it's like a receptionist answers the phone, and that receptionist will take notes on the call with the lead, or the prospect lead, I guess you could say. And then they also record the call, so you can log in to Call Porter and see that you have new leads. Every time you have a new lead, you can look at the notes that the lady took, and you can also listen to the phone call directly. You get an idea of, what they sound like, what their attitude is, all that stuff. So that's really nice. So I've been doing a little bit of that, a little bit of wholesaling here and there, finishing up flip projects. I got one pending right now. I just sold one last week, like less than a week ago. And that one we did all right on, pretty good. At closing, we got a check for $30,000. Now that's not net profit, because when I get a check back at closing, there's things that aren't factored into that, like interest payments and stuff like that. So there may be a couple other things that get taken out of that $30,000. We had the house for, I think we probably had it for like 4 months at like $800 something a month in interest. So, 25 net or whatever. The one that we're pending on right now, it's not a great one, man. So I'll give you guys a lesson that I learned recently, and that is a lesson about liquidity. I could go deeper into the lesson of liquidity in another video if somebody really wants to know the whole situation or what happened, but basically I put myself in an extremely tough position because I tried to do too much with the amount of liquid capital that I had. So I ended up buying a rental property for cash, and there's some things that led up to the issue of liquidity, but it taught me a valuable lesson about how important it is to stay liquid, especially when you have multiple projects at one time. Your liquidity is so important. And if, like, you could have all the houses in the world and assets and equity and all of that, but if you don't stay liquid, it means nothing. I mean, you're just going to put yourself in a position where you're super uncomfortable. Like, for me, it was a position that I haven't had to deal with, like, ever since I started this journey, which was like 5 years ago, I think, that I started like doing real estate full-time investing. And so, very important. Liquidity is very important. That's what I'll say here. If you guys want more information on that, or whatever, you want to know more about the experience, just let me know, and I'll make another video talking about it specifically. There's quite a few things in this one video that I could make other videos on, specifically, but for now, like, I'm just talking to talk and just to try to engage and hopefully have some questions come from this one. But yeah, pretty interesting time recently in the last few months, mostly because of the liquidity thing. But the project that's pending right now, we didn't do super hot on. Like, it honestly might end up being a wash. Like, I don't know if we're gonna make anything at all. So that's only happened to me one other time, and it wasn't on my dime. I was working for somebody that was an investor, running all their projects and stuff, doing a lot of different things in the business, but this one was like on me. So lots of things that went wrong during that project, and I could also dive into that and what I learned from that in another video, if you guys are interested. If anybody sees this, honestly, I don't even know if anybody that cares about real estate or investing will see this, but I'll try to make the title catchy, so that it might draw some real estate people in. I think I maybe got a couple on the last one, but yeah, other than that, like 2-3 months ago, I started learning how to code, because I felt like the full-time real estate thing, after like the whole liquidity issue and stuff, it stressed me out. Like, I'm not gonna lie, and I take a lot of risk, and you have to be in this business. I take quite a bit of risk, as I'm sure like anyone else in this industry does, and that's just kind of how it is for us. And I just felt as if I was kind of not, I don't want to say I was burnt out, because I didn't feel burnt out, but I just felt like it was just a lot of stress, and I want to mitigate that stress, because I'm a strong believer in living life, and not like, I don't work to live. I'm sorry, the other way around. I don't live to work. I work to live, right? Yeah. So that's really me, like, all the way. I believe in my time and my freedom, and that's why I do this in the first place, because I do have a very good amount of time to myself, and freedom. And that's what attracted me to this industry in the beginning. So, I started to learn how to code, and the reason for that is because I have a couple friends who are like software developers, and they make pretty good money, and they also don't work a whole lot. Like, they have like a lot of flexibility with their schedule, because they're all remote, and they can work from home, they can work from anywhere. I mean, they go travel somewhere, they can do their work there. So that's really attractive to me, like, because I've had a W-2 income like job before. I was an employee before, and what I hated the most about that was being in an office from 9 to 5. Like, even if I wasn't busy, I'm just like wasting time. Like, even commuting to and from, I was a 45-minute drive at my old job, to and from the office. And I mean, that's 2 hours a day. Like, some days I do real estate. I mean, like today I don't really have anything going on. Like, my projects are moving forward, and I'm just looking for new opportunities. And I get a lot of opportunities sent to me on a weekly basis. Like, I don't do my own marketing right now, so I can just buy from wholesalers. I've done that many times, and the company that I contract for, I run all of their appointments for my local area. So I get first dibs on anything that I get under contract. That's part of the reason why I started contracting for this company, to do wholesale deals for them. But yeah, so I'm hoping that, doing this coding thing, I can get something else to like kind of supplement my real estate. Like, I'll never stop doing real estate. Honestly, I could do real estate to the level that I do right now, like also working like a remote job that maybe I work 4 hours a week instead of 8, like a complete, full 8-hour day. So that was kind of the idea behind it. We'll see how it pans out, but it's a difficult industry to get into, that I've kind of discovered, and I knew it was a big task to undertake, to learn how to code, right? So I started with JavaScript and started to do some online, like, there's a lot of free resources out there for like self-taught developers, and the one I used was freecodecamp.org. There's another one called the Odin Project, which is a little bit less flexible. Like, with Free Code Camp, you can pick your curriculum. Like, you want to do this specific thing, well, there's a curriculum for that, and you can just do that. And maybe you think a couple other subjects, or they're kind of supplementing the other thing, or like foundation builders to the one thing, you can do that too. So I kind of just picked my niche on freecodecamp.org, and yeah, and that's how I did it. And to my surprise, within the last 3 months that I've been teaching myself, I reached out to the owner of a company in a local town, like the nearest city to me, and I just made an introduction and said, hey, like, here's what I'm doing. I really am like looking forward to getting my hands dirty. Like, I want to do something practical. Like, I want to get practical experience, right? And next week I had a Zoom call with him. And then the week after that, I had a Zoom call with the other founder. And the week after that, it was like, hey, do you want an internship here? It's not paid, but it's super flexible. Like, I can do remote if I want to. I can do a couple days a week instead of a full week. You know, it's not 40 hours. It's, hey, like, what's your availability? How much can you commit? Because basically the amount that you can commit is the amount that you're going to learn. So it's really up, you know, they put the ball in my court and said, hey, it's up to you how much you want to commit. And I really want to learn practical experience. So I'm going to start, I'm going to California first week of March for a week, and I'll be back after that. I'm going to take one day to kind of reacclimate to reality, and then I'm going to go start this internship for 3 days a week, full, you know, I don't know how long I'll be there on a daily basis, but, you know, I'll probably make some videos updating on that, like that experience, and just kind of see if anything clicks, you know. I guess maybe that's something you guys want to hear about. Otherwise, if not, maybe something else will, and I'll focus on that, you know. I feel like I've got quite a bit of knowledge when it comes to real estate for sure, so I could probably provide some insight, look at someone's, talk through a deal. I'm probably not going to take the time to analyze a deal for anybody, because like I don't know. I could, maybe I will if you really need help, but I'd rather talk through it. Like if someone had a problem and they didn't know how to structure a deal, like I could probably rack my brain, come up with some creative solutions. That's kind of where I feel like I maybe differentiate from a lot of like other investors, is I'm familiar with creative financing, creative methods to get deals done. And I'm always trying to think of creative ways to do a deal, like if it doesn't make sense. So a lot of times that's kind of where my brain goes. So that's useful for some people. Yeah, but any other things you guys want me to discuss or just talk about in general, let me know. And I'd be happy to talk about it. I mean, I'll try to, hopefully it's something I already know. If it's not, like, I'll be honest with you, tell you I don't know anything about that subject. But yeah, I've done some interesting things, you know. I don't know, I have a buddy of mine, he always says that like my life experience has been like just really interesting and untraditional, like a path, right? Because he's right. It is different. It's very different. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm not trying to brag, because I don't really care. I don't even think about it really. But I'm trying to make a point that like maybe there's something that I can give advice on that you don't know about and maybe you want to know about. Because I mean, I went to college for finance. In the process of going to college, I went into the military. I've been in the military as a reservist for going on 10 years now. Done quite a bit of different things in the military. Done some really cool stuff. Done some not so cool stuff. I know what sucks about the military and what doesn't suck. And then outside of that, you know, I worked a corporate job after I graduated from college for like a year and a half. Corporate banking, you know. I didn't do corporate finance, but I did commercial banking. So if anybody wants to know about that, what that's like and what they could expect going into corporate finance, corporate banking, I could talk on that. And then I quit my job and got into real estate, doing that full time. And now I'm trying to code, you know, I'm trying to become a coder. And self-taught coders are having a really tough time right now. The market is extremely competitive, and there's a lot of people with experience that are applying for entry-level jobs. So that's why I took this internship unpaid, because I was like, you know, I want to get experience and I need that experience. Sorry, my footage is. I need that experience in order to get something that I want, and to even have the opportunity and to be blessed enough to be able to afford it, to go and work 3 days a week, driving to go work three days a week to another city and not take a paycheck. Like, a lot of people can't do that, right? They need something that's going to pay them. And it would be nice, obviously, if I could get paid like something, but it's not make or break for me, And I think that's why they're being so cool about the internship, is because, like, hey, we're not paying you, and like, you're doing this out of your own free will. Like, as long as you want to learn and you're not gonna waste the resource and you're gonna actually try to learn something from our team, then we don't have an expectation from you. And I that's kind of what I've gotten from them. The only expectation they have is that I show up and I ask questions, and that's it. So I'm excited about that. I am really excited about that. It's a big undertaking for me. I'm not a genius, like, whiz coder. Like I said, I've only been focusing on it for like 2 months, so 2 or 3 months. I'm still very new to it. I'm familiar with it. I have a good foundation. I feel like I understand a lot of the basics, but like, it gets really complex. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know. I'm going to try to do these more frequently because I haven't been. And yeah, I do enjoy just like talking and providing value to people when I can. So I do it all the time, like with my friends on the phone, like every day. I have people call me, ask me questions about real estate, advice about anything, really. Like, I don't know what it is, but people tend to like want my opinion on stuff. So feel free to ask me anything, really. I mean, I've been through a lot of shit, like relationship stuff and family stuff, life stuff. I'm not going to go into that right now, but if it naturally comes up, I will. But just know that I'm open. I'm an open book. You can ask me whatever, and hopefully I could provide some value. So see you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Peace out.